Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates. And today we're going to be having a look at the prospects of the continuing cold weather. Now, it's been very cold over the last few days, but we haven't seen too much widespread snowfall, which has been a bit disappointing, really. We've seen a lot of northern areas of Scotland, northwestern areas getting a lot of snow, and a few central areas in the Midlands, some localised areas as well, getting good covering. Those who have seen snow have actually seen quite a lot of settling snow in areas. However, it's just we haven't really had the widespread snowfall, really. Generally hasn't been quite cold enough for all precipitation to fall to snow, especially near the coastal areas and during peak times in the day. But also, there hasn't been too much precipitation around, to be honest. Where I am in the southeast, we haven't seen anything, not even rain, sleet or snow. No showers for the last 3 or 4 days. It's been very dry, but quite frosty and cold. And even the prospects of that snowfall tonight has diminished in the latest models. So if you look through the models, you can see that overload pressure that we were highlighting a couple of days ago, potentially bringing heavy snowfall to the south. It's just really gone through the southwest, and it's not going to affect us as really anywhere. Maybe over a few of the high ground in the southwest we're going to see a covering of snow, but other than that, nothing much really. But it's going to be a very cold night. Isobars separating tonight and into tomorrow, so not many showers around, but very cold. There is potential overnight Thursday for there to be some showers in the east, as we see. There's a little area of low pressure there, but we'll look at that on the precipitation maps in a minute. But it's going to be very cold, maybe -4, -5 degrees quite widely tonight, and then again quite cold again tomorrow. And after that, high pressure builds to our north and our west, so things settle down a lot in the west and then in the north. But then it could turn a bit more lively in the south and the east. I've started to see some people potentially showing there may be some few streamers around with the easterly winds that are setting up. Kent streamer, Thames estuary streamer, and generally just easterly winds bringing in snow showers. As you can see, to the north and the west, generally high pressure, but further east and south, you see we've got lower pressure around, with brisk easterly winds coming in Monday, Tuesday, and into Wednesday, bringing in sustained easterly winds on this GFS run before low pressure tries to pull up from the south. Now this is where we do have a bit of model disagreement, as this on this GFS run we got that air low pressure pushing up from the south, bringing moisture again to the southeast, potentially enhancing those snow showers, bringing again a northeasterly wind. So generally, eastern areas could be getting quite a lot of snow next week. Potentially, again, it depends on the exact setup. And further north and west, where we tend to see the snow, most years get to see the snow, we won't be seeing much precipitation around. But as we end this GFS run, the high pressure does slip away, and we bring in a bitterly cold northerly wind down, and areas of low pressure coming off the Atlantic, potentially bringing big snowfalls to the south and Midlands. Again, there could be a bit of milder air there down the southwest, maybe southeast as well, which might bring some rain instead. But again, it's quite a long way out, and it just shows you that we're generally going to be staying quite cold and unsettled, especially in the east and the south. For the north, it does turn unsettled in the long run, but again, there's a lot of model disagreement with this. If we have a look at the GM, very similar setup. That area low pressure dives to our south. We don't see a lot of precipitation coming from that. Maybe a few showers in the east overnight into Friday as the area low pressure moves up towards Belgium. Maybe a little feature. We've seen potentially a little trough on the Met Office facts charts. Latest fact chart showing a little bit of a trough or a little area of interest coming into the east, potentially bringing some precipitation there, but again, still a bit uncertain. As we go to next week, we start to pull in a bitterly cold easterly wind. The upper airs are quite cold, -7, -8 degrees, so it's going to be very cold. And initially, maybe not quite cold, as there is pockets of milder air out there. You can see a pocket of milder air there on Friday and Saturday, potentially lifting temperatures a little bit. But as we go early next week, bitterly cold easterly winds driving in snow showers, especially further inland. But the GM remains more unsettled overall, and again, this is where we have that bit of modern disagreement. The high pressure moves out more to the Atlantic, and then we start to pull down this area of low pressure, potentially from the north. And I'd probably be seeing that if we ran that in a couple more days, that plunging southwards with high pressure pushing up towards Greenland behind it. Now, this would be bitterly cold. You see minus 20 degree ice firm in there. Got minus 5 degrees before that. So it's likely to see heavy snowfall with that as that plunges southwards. Very significant conditions we could be seeing with that. But again, it's 10 days out, so it's something we just need to keep an eye on at this stage and see if it verifies. If we look at the ECMWF, very similar pattern over the next couple of days. We pull in those brisk easterly winds, said to be very similar to the GM with a lot more higher pressure to our north, this trough out towards France, which is going to be driving in the snow showers. See, cold airs, upper air temperatures, widely snowfall inland, maybe not towards the coasts, unfortunately, but widely snowfall inland, widely very low single digits in the day and overnight cold, frosty conditions. See, actually, there's a bit more lower pressure further north here, so we could be seeing snow showers driven into the northeast as well, East Anglia, as well as the south and the southeast. So that's a little bit different to the other charts, which showed more high pressure to the north, putting in a bitterly cold easterly wind. Before the end of the run, we start to push up low pressure from the south with a blocking area of high pressure out the Atlantic. We're starting to build up a proper cold Scandinavian high there. We're pulling in bitterly cold easterly winds, and these cold easterly winds are bitterly cold, minus 10 getting in, with much colder air in the pipeline. With this area of low pressure bumping into it, could be significant snowfall in the southeast again. So looking more interesting, especially for the south over the next week to 10 days. So that's something to keep an eye on. I've missed out quite a lot this week with the snow, but I would not be surprised to see quite a decent amount of snowfall in certain areas next week into next weekend, especially in the south and the southeast. Further north, maybe turning a bit drier, but continually being cold, and where we do see any precipitation, will be falling as snow, most likely. And again, it could be turning more unsettled in the longer term, which would provide quite a bit of snow around. So it's looking like it's going to be continuing to be very cold. So a very cold January may be on the cards there, or at least the first half is going to be very cold. Now, if we have a look at the GFS upper airs and precipitation, you can see very cold until maybe 9th, 10th January. We've got a bit more scatter, but some going very cold, some going a lot milder, and then generally before the end of the run, it going a lot more towards average. But again, still a lot of uncertainty with that. I've had a look at a lot of the milder ensemble members, and that's generally just because the blocking is in a slightly wrong position and it's drawing up a temporary southerly wind. So again, it's something to just keep an eye on. You see these precipitation spikes here, that's the potential for a bit of snow in the London area on Thursday and Friday. And then we see this clump of precipitation here with those cold upper airs. That's probably those streamers or easterly winds and those showers I was talking about. Very strong precipitation signal for a couple of days in the middle of next week. No massive spikes, but a lot of spikes from many of the ensemble members, including the operational and the control runs. So it's quite widely going to be some easterly winds and snow showers with that. Now again, precipitation amounts won't be really known until maybe a day or two beforehand, but just the general pattern is looking encouraging, to say the least, for the south and the southeast. But lastly, with the GFS operational run, before we look at the precipitation, we'll have a look at the sudden stratospheric warming that we've been highlighting over the last last week really. Said it's going to happen, and it's starting to happen above the North Pole. Now, it's not completely resolved what's going to happen with this sudden stratospheric warming, but it's going to happen. Whether it's a displacement or a split is still yet to be decided, and what effects it's going to have. We're going to have to be looking at the models very intensely for the next couple days to a week to see what impact this has on mid-January, really. Whether it sends us bitterly cold or whether it disrupts the already blocking pattern we have. Because I've seen one person say, or a couple of people say on Twitter, that there's potential that this sudden stratospheric warming can push high pressure to the wrong side of the pole, and actually enhance low pressure in the westerlies again, where we are. Because remember, wherever cold air goes, it must be replaced. Somewhere else goes milder. So even though we're in a very cold blocking pattern right now, the sudden stratospheric warming does tend to send us colder. It could actually disrupt the pattern we're on right now and maybe send us a bit milder. But that's something we need to keep an eye on in the longer run. But we'll run through this, and you can see very warm temperatures coming up, displacing the polar vortex initially, and it's looking like it's starting to split the polar vortex. Actually, we see getting stretched out, and then it does start to split there. Does have a little bit of a connection there, but does start to split towards early next week, which you get two decent lobes. That is a split there, but I've seen this, and it does run through, and it does start to reform, unfortunately. And as we end the run, we'll just continue on, it looks like it's going to split again with another warming. So it's a sudden stratospheric warming. What's going to happen exactly with the sudden stratospheric warming is not particularly understood at the moment, and what effects it might have. It could send us properly blocked and cold, substantially cold, or it could disrupt the pattern we have at the moment. But at least it's a very interesting scenario, as I've never seen it before, where we've had natural blocking patterns in the Arctic and the North Atlantic, plus a sudden stratospheric warming. It could send us bitterly cold, or it could it could disrupt the pattern we've got right now. Again, it's something we just really need to keep an eye on. We'll now run through the precipitation for the next 10 days, just to show you what we're looking at. So at the moment we've got a lot of snow showers piling into Scotland. That's where the main snow risk is today. Maybe a few in the northwest as well. This area of precipitation is going to dodge the south. Really, maybe a little bit of snow along the tips of southeast, but generally nothing much. Those showers do drop down from the north, and as we go into overnight to Thursday, these are the snow showers I was talking about, potentially pushing into the Midlands and eastern England, coming in, maybe bringing a bit more snow to certain areas, or rain maybe. Then we start to pull in those northeasterly winds, and we start to pull in snow showers to the east. Now, as I said, there is a bit of a milder sector there as it topples down, so that it's likely to maybe be a bit of rain on Saturday, if we do see the showers. Further inland, potentially snow still. And as we run through Sunday, you can see those snow showers becoming more enhanced, even further north actually on the GFS, interestingly. But you can see it starts to go a lot drier in the north, especially over Scotland. There's a little bit of snow showers around there. But generally, it's much further south and towards the east of the country. We see enhanced snow showers. You see a potential streamer setting up there, and a lot of snow packing in on this easterly wind, potentially providing us quite a lot of snow there, even getting further inland with maybe a little feature there as well, as we run towards the middle of the week, continually bringing in these easterly winds and these snow showers. And then you see that area of low pressure that we saw in the pressure patterns pushing up from the south, potentially enhancing the snow risk. It doesn't quite push in, but again, we continue those easterly winds. High pressure pushes further north and further west, so we start to bring in more snow showers to the north and the northeast, and they continue in the south and the southeast, and we're seeing a lot of widespread snowfall, sort of a beast from the east pattern. Now, it's not necessarily as bitterly cold as the beast from the east, but it's going to be that sort of snow showers potential, what we're looking at. If you see there, you see that little stream potentially being a few centimetres. Shouldn't take this as literally, but it just shows you generally where the chance of some settling snow is. See, widely in the south, the southeast, for again that little feature running along the south coast, potentially bringing more snow inland. And by the end of this run, most areas in the south are seeing significant lying snow at certain points. So yeah, maybe mid next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, seeing a lot of widespread snowfall in the south and the east. Surprised not to see a lot in East Anglia, but maybe that's because it's a bit too mild, especially near the coast. But again, don't take this too literally, just generally there'll be a lot of snow showers around. Where we do see accumulations will not be really known until maybe a day or two in advance. Just generally there'll be a lot of snow showers around. if we have a look at the GM model for the precipitation rate, you can see precipitation comes a bit further out. They land on the southeast overnight, but again, don't really think anything of that. Then those snow showers coming into the east and the Midlands, potentially providing a little bit of snowfall there early Friday morning, which is interesting. A band of snow pushing southwards, maybe providing the first snow for some eastern and southern areas from this colder spell. Beyond that, so a lot of showers in the north and northeast. Not as many as we've seen recently, but again, just some little small areas of snow potentially. But it's generally quite dry over this weekend. These are probably a bit over exaggerated, the size of these showers. Just generally, there's going to be maybe a few showers around. But as we go into early next week, you start to see those easterly winds, and these showers start to drive in from the east. Not as enhanced as the GFS, but again, the GFS sometimes does go overboard. But again, we see a lot of snow showers potentially lining up into longer spells of snow. And we're continually bringing in those easterly winds. Before it does settle down towards the end of the run, as we start to bring any northerly wind back in. So continually showing easterly winds there with some snow showers. So that's something we just really need to keep an eye on. Tuesday, Wednesday next week looks like where we're going to see those enhanced snow shower potential. Lastly, we'll have a look at the icon. Doesn't go as far out as the other runs, but will probably show more accurate levels of precipitation. See there, the rainfall in the south doesn't really come inland, and then we see those snow showers move southwards overnight into Friday. That band of snow reaching maybe London in the south and the southeast potentially, but generally coming through the Midlands and affecting southern England by the end of the night into the morning. And then we start to see easterly winds and those snow showers starting to pack in early Monday, getting further and further inland. And expect in the next couple of days of this icon run, we'll start to see those snow showers push further inland. Just seeing what they will show next Tuesday, Wednesday, as that's the area of interest we've got at the moment for big snow, for any big snowfalls potentially, just generally from sort of easterly winds and packing in snow showers. So something we just need to really keep an eye on, as it could provide very significant snowfall in certain localized regions, maybe even widespread if we get any features all lining up of the showers. So it's just something we need to keep an eye on and look at warnings potentially over the weekend into next week. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. We're in for a very cold next couple of weeks, so stay tuned. But anyway, I'll see you again for another video.